Welcome to Rays of Hope, where inspiration meets possibilities. Join us on this journey as we explore videos that illuminate the path to positivity, resilience, and success. In Part 2, we'll look at practical ways to dissolve the ego and how doing so can lead to more peace, clarity, and joy. Reduction of anxiety and suffering. The ego thrives on attachment to outcomes, identities, and how others see you. The more you cling to these, the more you suffer when they shift. But when you loosen that grip, stress starts to unravel. Fewer unnecessary battles. Ever lost sleep replaying a comment that bothered you? That's the ego spinning stories. Dissolving it means dropping the drama and focusing on what actually matters. Freedom from comparison. Social media magnifies the ego's obsession with measuring up. Without that constant "am I good enough?" chatter, envy and insecurity fade. Less resistance to change. The ego hates uncertainty. But life is uncertain. Fighting that truth creates tension. Accepting it brings relief. Research links ego detachment to lower cortisol levels, the body's stress hormone. When you're not personally invested in every little problem, your nervous system gets a break. The key isn't to erase your personality, but to stop letting the ego's fears and demands run the show. The less you identify with its noise, the more space you create for what actually fulfills you. Methods for dissolving the ego. If you're ready to loosen the ego's grip, there are practical ways to do it. Some methods are slow and steady, like meditation, while others, like psychedelics, offer rapid shifts but require caution. Here's how to explore both safely and intentionally. Meditation and mindfulness practices. Meditation doesn't just calm the mind, it reveals how much of your self is just a stream of thoughts. By observing without grabbing onto them, you start to see the ego as a habit, not a fixed identity. Try these techniques. Self-inquiry, who am I? Popularized by Ramana Maharshi, this practice asks you to repeatedly question, who is thinking this thought? Over time, you realize the I behind thoughts is silent awareness, not the ego's story. Vipassana, insight meditation. Focus on bodily sensations without labeling them as good or bad. This trains you to experience life without the ego's commentary, reducing attachment to personal narratives. Loving kindness, metta, meditation. Directing warmth toward others, even difficult people, softens the ego's defensive walls. You start to feel connected rather than separate. Mindfulness in daily life helps too. Notice when the ego flares up, say, during criticism, and pause. Ask, am I reacting, or is this actually about me? The role of psychedelics in ego dissolution. Psychedelics like psilocybin, magic mushrooms, or ayahuasca can temporarily dissolve the ego, giving a direct experience of oneness. Research from Johns Hopkins and Imperial College London shows these substances reduce activity in the brain's default mode network, the ego's home base. Important considerations: set and setting. A supportive environment and clear intention are crucial. Never use psychedelics casually or without supervision. Integration. The experience means little without reflection. Journaling or talking with a guide helps translate insights into lasting change. Legality and safety. Psychedelics are illegal in many places. If exploring them, prioritize harm reduction. Test substances, have a sober guide, and avoid mixing with medications. These tools aren't shortcuts. Whether through meditation or psychedelics, dissolving the ego is about peeling back layers, not losing yourself, but finding what's underneath. Potential challenges and misconceptions. Dissolving the ego doesn't mean vanishing into some empty void, it's about reframing how you relate to your sense of self. Like any big shift, it comes with concerns and myths. Two big ones pop up repeatedly. Fear of losing who you are, and confusing ego work with avoiding real-life problems. Let's untangle them. Fear of losing identity. The ego loves a solid story. I am my job, I am my past mistakes, I am what others think of me, so when people hear ego dissolution, they panic. Will I stop being me? Here's the truth. Your personality stays intact. You'll still prefer certain foods, laugh at your favorite jokes, and keep your quirks. What changes is your attachment to those traits defining you. It's like upgrading an operating system. The old software, rigid identity, gets replaced with something more flexible. You're still you, just less stuck in one version. Think of actors who truly inhabit roles but don't become their characters. They're fluid, not erased. Ego dissolution works similarly. You gain the ability to step back from limiting labels without losing your essence. Avoiding spiritual bypassing. Some people use ego work as a way to dodge discomfort, calling it attachment when they avoid relationships, or non-judgment when ignoring toxic behavior. This is spiritual bypassing, and it backfires. Signs you might be bypassing. Using detachment as an excuse. Example. I'm not angry, because anger isn't enlightened, but repressed emotions don't disappear. They leak out in passive aggression or health issues. Ignoring practical needs. Claiming the universe will provide while skipping bills or therapy. Healthy ego work includes adult responsibilities. Real ego dissolution isn't about floating above human struggles. It's seeing them clearly without the ego's drama. If your spiritual practice makes you colder or more avoidant, it's worth checking if you're bypassing real work. The goal isn't to escape life, it's to engage with it more fully, without the ego's constant interference. Keep that in mind, and the path stays clear. Dissolving the ego isn't about losing yourself, it's about gaining freedom. When the ego's grip loosens, relationships deepen, stress fades, and life feels less like a performance. You stop clinging to old stories, comparing yourself, or defending a rigid identity. Instead, you make room for curiosity, presence, and real connections. This process isn't about flipping a switch. It's a gradual shift, best approached with patience and self-compassion. Start small. Notice when the ego reacts, pause before defending an opinion, or try a simple mindfulness exercise. What happens when you stop taking your thoughts so personally? Find out by sitting quietly for 5 minutes, just observing your breath. No judgment, no storyline, just the space between thoughts. See what changes. Thank you for joining us on this uplifting journey with Rays of Hope. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more videos that spark hope and empowerment. Until next time, keep shining brightly. Thank you for watching.